How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins, Media Corner, back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time for this new episode for this series is going to be my review on the 2024 sci-fi horror film, and this is the newest entry to this franchise that began since 1979, and this one serves as an interquel as well, and that is Alien Romulus. Now, like I said, this is the newest entry to the Alien franchise, and this was directed by Fede Álvarez, the director of films such as 2013's Evil Dead and 2016's Don't Breathe. And this one is set in between Alien and Aliens, and in this film, while scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station, a group of young space colonists come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. So that's pretty much the story of Alien Romulus. Now, what can I say about the Alien franchise? The first two movies are just absolute works of art, and they definitely are the best things that the sci-fi genre has ever had to offer. Not just because of the horror aspects or the action aspects, it's the overall filmmaking in general, and there's never been another single Alien film that can ever top those two movies. However, when it comes to the other entries after Aliens in this franchise, Alien 3, I think it's an okay movie, even though I do understand what David Fincher was trying to do for that film, even though it just didn't turn out right the way it turned out to be in the end, even though it did have a few of its moments, but it's certainly not the best when it comes to the Alien franchise. Alien Resurrection, I do think, is the worst in the franchise. And then for the last two films, which were both prequels, in which they were both, of course, Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and both of them were directed by Ridley Scott, who, of course, directed the original Alien film that started this whole franchise. For Prometheus, I thought it was a really good, solid entry to this franchise, and I thought it was also a good, solid return to Ridley Scott to direct another entry to the Alien franchise. And then for Alien Covenant, I thought that one was also pretty good as well, but not as good as Prometheus, but it was still a solid entry to the Alien franchise. And when I heard we were going to get another entry to this franchise, I was both excited, but I was also a little bit curious as well, because I didn't even know, was this one going to be a necessary entry to this franchise. But once I heard that Fede Álvarez was going to be the man behind the camera for this movie, I was really excited to see what he was going to do, because I really enjoyed his two movies I already mentioned, which were 2013's Evil Dead remake and 2016's Don't Breathe, which I really enjoyed both of those movies. In particular, Don't Breathe being my favorite of his movies in terms of what he's done so far for his film library. And I did rewatch the first two Alien films, and I still think they are just pure works of art in terms of the sci-fi genre. And this film came out on the 16th of August, which I did see this on opening day, and there was a fair amount of the people on the screen that I went to for this movie. And after watching this whole movie here, I can definitely thank Fede Álvarez for this movie here, because he thankfully did not disappoint me here with this new entry to the franchise here, because I overall had a really great time here with Alien Romulus, and this is definitely one of the best entries to the Alien franchise since Aliens here. What I really loved about Alien Romulus is that this movie was able to bring back the suspense and terror, because in some of the other entries to the Alien franchise, they didn't focus on them that much, and that's what the Alien franchise is well known for, the suspense and terror. And I was very pleased that Fede Álvarez was able to bring back all that here when it came to some of those aspects in this movie. And he also did a really great job with the horror aspects, like the jump scares, which there's a good amount of them, and they did work out really well here for me. And he also did a really great job with the overall look at the film, to the sets, and the action scenes, which were pretty fun, and the practical effects when it comes to the alien creatures, such as the xenomorphs and other alien creatures that we do see in the movie here. And I also liked how this movie has some new ideas here, which I thought worked out really well, and yet they played out so smart here. And yet there was even a few that I didn't really see coming when it came to some of that in this movie here. There was one big one here in this film that I was just blown away when it came to that in the movie. And there are times where the film does have a few essence to Don't Breathe, but I did like where the movie was going, for when it came to the suspense and terror. And there are times where the film does have fan service to the Alien franchise, in which there were a few that I found really surprising, but there was one that the way it was delivered on screen here, I kind of felt it was off-putting, and I kind of felt like it could have worked out a lot more cooler than I expected. Because when I saw it, I was just like, oh, okay, that could have worked out a lot more better for me here. And as for the performances in the film, like Cailee Spaeny, she was great in the film. She was able to give out a really strong performance in the movie as Rain, and I did like her interactions with other characters in the movie, and I felt all that was really well connected here, especially with like her relationship with this other character who's like an adoptive brother, and he's a robot named Andy. And I did like their connections the connections that they do have to themselves here, and everyone else for the most part they all gave really strong performances here for these characters here. So all in all, Alien Romulus was definitely a really great entry to this franchise, and this is definitely one of the best entries to this franchise since Aliens, and definitely a lot more better than the previous entries to the Alien franchise here. And if you're overall a huge fan of the Alien franchise, or you're a fan of director Fede Álvarez, chances are you're not going to be disappointed with this newest entry to this franchise. So that's pretty much all to say about Alien Romulus. I'm going to give Alien Romulus 4 out of 5. All in all, like I said, this was definitely a really satisfying entry to this franchise, and I overall had a really great time with this one. And I am really curious to see what's going to happen next in the future with this franchise here as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my AK After I Saw review on Alien Romulus, and let me know what you think of this newest entry to this franchise if you have seen this already, or if you just recently checked this out. Did you have a blast with this, or you're very disappointed with this? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.